The letter that unlocked hell. In 1928, a kind, soft-spoken man walked into a New York City apartment, holding strawberries and a promise. He introduced himself as Frank Howard, a farmer offering honest work to a struggling young boy named Edward Budd. But what caught his eye that day wasn't the boy. It was Edward's 10-year-old sister, Grace. A few days later, the man returned. This time, he invited Grace to what he claimed was his niece's birthday party. Dressed in white with a ribbon in her hair, Grace smiled, waved goodbye, and followed him out the door. That was the last time her family ever saw her alive. Weeks passed, then months, then years. The Budds never gave up hope. But there were no leads. Grace had vanished, like a ghost swallowed by the city. Then 6 years later, something arrived in their mailbox. A letter. No return address. Grace's mother opened it slowly. Her hands trembled as her son began to read it aloud. It wasn't a ransom. It wasn't a cruel prank. It was a confession. The writer admitted that Grace had never made it to a birthday party, that he had taken her to an abandoned house, strangled her, cut her into pieces, cooked her flesh, and eaten her over the course of 9 days. The writer described every chilling detail. Calmly, almost politely, he wrote, "She died a virgin." That man's real name was Albert Fish. The letter, his own words, led police straight to a boarding house in Manhattan. And when they found him, he didn't run. He simply nodded, as if he'd been expecting them. In custody, he admitted to everything. Grace wasn't his only victim. He described 2 other child murders with the same eerie calm. He also confessed to self-mutilation and said voices from God told him what to do. He was found sane and sentenced to death. In 1936, Albert Fish was executed in the electric chair. He didn't scream, he didn't cry. He went quietly, and in his pocket was a final letter. So vile, so disturbing, his attorney refused to release it to the public. They called him the Gray Man, but history remembers him by another name, the Boogeyman of New York. Want more true stories that sound like nightmares? Tap follow. You won't believe what's next.